If the goal for Trump is to trot out his mouthpieces to take the heat off of him, then I think it's safe to say that Pete Hegseth did his job.
They're going after President Trump, just like they did from the minute he came down the escalator in his first term, and now they want to tear him down, his agenda down, and his voters down. Because I support him fully and I'm willing to be strong and bold in that proclamation, they're going to come at me in any way possible. To that I say, bring it on. To that I say, it's not going to deter me. It only fuels what we're doing here at the Pentagon on behalf of the warfighter, on behalf of our commander-in-chief, on behalf of restoring it back to basics and lethality. There's a reason why our nation's most closely held secrets are contained in certain places with only access from certain people. Nobody takes that more seriously than me. If there's one thing I've sort of been offended by, I don't get offended by much. I'm here to do my job for the president, for the country, is this idea that I don't take classification or I don't take clearances seriously. Nobody takes it more seriously than me. And we make sure that's infused through how we operate. And we do everything we can to deliver on behalf of the American people that way.
There is a reason why our nation's most closely held secrets are contained in certain places with only access from certain people. Nobody takes that more seriously than me. My dude. This might come as a surprise to you, Pete, but there was a time, but mere weeks ago, where you actually merged your Thanksgiving family group chat with another chat discussing imminent war plans against the Houthis. That's in addition to yet another group chat you were in, where the editor of The Atlantic was lurking in the background because your administration accidentally invited him in. And all of that is in addition to the fact that you had an unsecured internet line set up in your office to circumvent Pentagon security protocol to be able to use Signal on a personal computer. So when you say that nobody takes our nation's secrets more seriously than me, forgive us if we've got a little more skepticism than a 7-year-old child, because that's how old you have to be to believe the words coming out of Pete Hegseth's mouth. And I mean no disrespect to 7-year-olds. And if you thought that was nonsensical, do I have a clip for you?
He's going to be the first president to introduce $1 trillion budget. That's not just spending more, it's also being serious about an audit. It's also finding cuts where we pull out the Biden garbage and put in President Trump's priorities. 3 clear goals. We hammer it home every day, every speech, the Joint Chiefs throughout the Pentagon, restore the warrior ethos, rebuild the military, reestablish deterrence. And the warrior ethos is simple. It's readiness, accountability, lethality, warfighting. None of this woke DEI, CRT, gender pronoun, green new scam stuff. That's all out. Ideology is out. Capabilities, colorblind, merit-based, back to basics. It really is a back to basics message. And then rebuilding the military. I mean, President Trump did it in his first term. We're doing it again, making sure what we fund, the capabilities we fund, match the threats we face of the future, not reflexively what we've fought in the past. He's going to be the first president to introduce $1 trillion budget. That's not just spending more, it's also being serious about an audit. It's also finding cuts where we pull out the Biden garbage and put in President Trump's priorities. So we're going to invest, a generational investment in those capabilities.
Oh, so Trump is the first president to introduce $1 trillion military budget, but also that he's serious about an audit, which of course sounds contradictory, but not when you suspend all logic and reason, at which point anything can make sense. I mean, think about what Hegseth is actually saying here. Trump increased the military budget, but also that he's the first one to audit military spending. Wouldn't that suggest that the budget would go down, since all that waste, fraud, and abuse would be rooted out? And of course, there was no audit, meaning that Donald Trump lied, Hegseth lied, Musk lied, and the American people will yet again shoulder the burden of our tax dollars going to bloated military defense contractors despite seven straight failed audits. The only difference is that Trump and Hegseth fired a bunch of black people under the guise of ending DEI, and so now it'll just be primarily white people taking your tax dollars and throwing it away on God knows what, because that's something an audit would normally expose, but despite Pete Hegseth's claims, it never happened.
It may take into 2026, if I'm being honest about it, to really uncover everything, but there will be accountability. We're committed to it. We will not leave a single stone unturned.
Speaking of a date in the future, the Pentagon has missed something like 8 audits in a row. When you sat on my side of this chair, we all talked about the amount of money going into the Pentagon. The budget is roughly $900 billion. I believe you've asked for close to $1 trillion in budget, and yet at the same time we hear about things like DOGE. Can it come in and make it more efficient? What can you tell the American people about the Pentagon budget?
We're gonna get an audit of the Pentagon before this president leaves office, which no one said was possible, by the way. It's failed 7 straight. Only Marine Corps has passed it. We're pulling the lessons of why the Marine Corps works and applying it to the other services. Your staff will tell you. It's something I'm focused on all the time, is where are we in the audit? So anything we promised in the confirmation process or on interviews, it's on a list. It's being executed relentlessly.
Although I must say, this administration did manage to find time to gut the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, the CFPB, which exists solely to protect consumers from predatory financial institutions and banks, and has returned $21 billion to over 200 million consumers. It found time to gut USAID, which for 0.5% of the budget delivers clean water and food, HIV prevention, and soft power to the rest of the world. It found time to gut inspectors general in almost every single agency and department. It found time to eliminate every single check on Elon Musk's businesses. But the most bloated agency of all, the one that's failed 7 audits in a row, yeah, they get a pay bump from the roughly $800 million range to $1 trillion now. It's almost like, and bear with me on this one, it was never actually about eliminating waste, fraud, and abuse, and always about helping Elon Musk eliminate any barrier to his consolidation of more wealth. Why? Because he paid for Donald Trump's 2024 victory, and this is Trump making good on his end of the bargain. Don't you all see? Trump's agenda has nothing to do with any of us. It's not about helping regular Americans. It's not about adding jobs. It's not about lowering healthcare costs. It's not about making groceries or housing or rent or eggs more affordable. It is solely about helping the ultra-wealthy get a little bit wealthier. That's the agenda. Help Elon because he helped Donald Trump. Help military defense contractors because they helped Donald Trump. Our government has devolved into a full-blown kleptocracy, and they're not even trying to hide it. Want to get ahead? Give Donald Trump a $400 million plane for his personal collection. That's how it works. He promised to drain the swamp. This dude is living in it. He is neck deep in sewage. And he got there on the backs of Americans who believe the bullshit that he was spewing during the campaign about helping them. He doesn't care about you, and he never will. This guy is in office to help a very, very, very small sliver of the population, and chances are really high that it doesn't include you, because Trump's priority is not me or you or any regular American. It is himself and the people who paid enough money to get him to where he is today. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.